Hello and welcome everyone to this first lecture on Indian polity under the Titan 4.0 batch for 2026. I, Jatin Verma, will be taking you through this interesting journey of Indian polity and governance. So in this first introductory lecture today, we are going to see as to how the democracy functions, what is the meaning of constitution, what is the meaning of sovereign people, what is the meaning of sovereignty in India. So what is the UPSC syllabus, how UPSC has been asking the questions in the last few years. This is going to be the agenda for the class today. If anyone has got any of the doubts, let us see if everything is working fine. Yeah, it seems to be working fine. I can see your doubts also now. Okay, so let us get started. I might get distracted in between due to this comments and all. So I expect from all of you to please keep the chats to the minimum, the messages in the chat box to the minimum to the extent it is relevant so that we can have a productive session, guys. Okay, so it will be a humble request. Now let's begin. These classes are purely in English. If you have any doubts whatsoever, post your doubts in the comment section. We'll be happy to help you. Now, since this is our first lecture, there is going to be no recapitulation of the previous class. Can everyone hear me? Okay, everyone, Soumya, Danish, okay, Abha, all right. Now see guys, this is the agenda for the class today. Introductory lecture, since it is Introduction to Indian Polity. What is democracy, constitution and constitutionalism? What is the difference between these terms? I'll show you how UPSC in this last 1 year, I mean in 2024 prelims also, they've asked a question around the difference between constitutionalism and constitution. Then the conceptual clarity like due process of law, procedure established by law. Okay, so these type of things are being asked by UPSC in the prelims as well as mains examination. So our topics are catering of topics, are dealing with the topics will be such that it caters to your requirement of syllabus. Okay. Now, what are the three organs of state? We all know legislature, executive and judiciary are the three organs of the state, right? So that being the case, then we will, after having a cursory idea of all these organizations, all this institutional structure of Indian polity, Indian constitution, what are fundamental rights, I'll also tell you the different layers of the government we have in the country, in the Constitution of India, union, state and local bodies. So what is the relevance of the word federalism? How are we a federal country? Then what are the rights given to us? Why are the fundamental rights given to us in this country also? Okay, so these things we are going to deal with. Then UPSC PYQs, previous year questions, a few of them for prelims and a few of them for mains, more for prelims and less for mains. So this is what we are going to do. Then I'm going to tell you the linkage between the static and the current portion insofar as your this is concerned. The understanding of syllabus is concerned and linkage between your static and current insofar as your the requirement of the examination is concerned, right? Okay, so those of my students who are watching me on the YouTube today, just a small announcement. Since this batch has started today, I wanted to give my best in this batch. There will be no Udan lecture for today only. Tomorrow onwards, we will resume the lecture. And for budget session day also, the lecture did not happen. I will equally take care of your revision part. The ones who are watching me or waiting for me on the YouTube, we will be taking care of the Udan lectures from tomorrow onwards. That series of Indian polity will be completed in its entirety. All right, guys. Now here, let's begin with it. Okay, so what is a democracy? What is a polity? Polity we understand as of now a subject which is studied from M. Lakshmikant or D.D. Basu, right? Most of you refer to M. Lakshmikant, the popular book. But Indian polity is the polity of our country. It is about the political system that we have in our country, right? So when we say the political system, it basically means that how we are governing our country. Okay, polity means the political parties, Polity means we the citizens, first of all, we are the sovereign. What is the meaning of sovereignty? Sovereign means individual sovereigns. Individuals, the citizens of the country are the sovereign. And what is the literal meaning of sovereignty? Supreme source of power. We the people of India are the supreme source of power in this country. Why? Because we have given ourselves this constitution. We are a country of 140 crore people. We want to install a pipeline, a normal water pipeline, or we want railway tracks. So all of us cannot decide for ourselves how we are going to run the country. Because arriving at a consensus, arriving at a decision in a country which is so large in population terms, in geographic terms, in the terms of diversity will be very difficult. So we are an indirect democracy. How are we an indirect democracy? In our country, we the people here, as you can see, we gave ourselves this constitution according to which our system runs, according to which our polity functions, right? According to which we conduct elections, which we appoint judges, then we choose our prime minister, then we choose our chief ministers. So that is how this system works. Aditi, how many classes we will have in a day? I can see some of you having some problem in joining Telegram. I'm sure the backend team must be looking at these queries. So, good evening, everyone. Okay. As of now, polity, only one class will be held. About the rest of your queries, I'll keep the team posted from here once the class is over. On the dedicated Telegram channel or any other communication mode that you have, they will inform you about how many classes will be held in a day. Okay. Mahi Tiwari, you are not able to connect with the web. That will be looked after by the tech team. You are an Amit Kumar Roy, you are unable to connect through your laptop. Okay. So these things, I'm just reading out your comments so that somebody in the backend team who are monitoring my comments or checking your comments here or listening to me, they will definitely be able to help you out of this. Okay. Let's focus here. Any of you, if still faces any kind of problem in this, you can for sure watch the recorded lecture. Okay. Now, this constitution, we have a written constitution, having a constitution in which enables us to elect our representatives. That means we become a representative democracy. Representative democracy we are. Okay, why we are a representative democracy? Because we are so large a country, we are such a huge population, we need representatives, our netas, to govern ourselves. Okay, this topi, Gandhi topi, whatever it is, you understood my point, that the purpose of having representative democracy is that as a large country, Vidhi, I will definitely answer your query, bache. What should we do before, coming to the class every day? These lectures will be so detailed that you have to make notes of everything that I am dictating, I am telling you here, even though these are cursory remarks, I am writing in a rough manner, but everything will be a gem for you. I will ensure that. So rely on these classes. If at all for anything, I will ask you to read. I will tell you about the link from the Hindu or Indian Express newspaper as to what is required to be read from your side. Okay. Any chapter of M. Lakshmikant or polity books by PW team, we will let you know. Abhi ke liye, for now, let's focus on this thing at the hand right now. I will entertain all your doubts. I can understand after joining the batch, I also had felt the same way. There would be a teacher answering all my curious doubts. I can understand your curiosity, no doubt. But just let's get the hang of the topic here as to what the topic is at hand. Okay. And then your doubts, your curiosity will melt away automatically. Still, if there would be any left, I will answer it in the last 15 minutes. Don't worry. Give me just half an hour to build that tempo. Okay. Please hold on to your curiosity. Akanksha, I'm sorry if I missed out on your doubt. Hello, sir. Please suggest me how to cover polity by NCERT. I have no idea. That is what I said just now. You will be having many doubts. Okay. I in the offline arena, I went up to the house of my teacher after my very first class. Okay, so during the coaching days, so I can understand your curiosity, but just give me half an hour. After teaching you for half an hour, after getting you acquainted with the syllabus, with the PYQs, with the basic idea of democracy, definitely you would not feel like reading NCERTs or anything. Okay, just begin over here. Yeah, syllabus will be explained in detail, Revati. Okay, now representative democracy we are. So why? Because we are choosing our MLAs and MPs, members of parliament. These MPs and MLAs, since they represent us, since they are the ones who are representing us in the parliament and state legislature, to decide about where to construct railway line, to decide about whether uniform civil code needs to be applied or not, to decide whether simultaneous elections should be held in our country or not. So we are the sovereign, supreme source of power. They are the representatives to whom we have given our powers. Technically, we say that we have delegated our power to our representatives. Delegated means we have given our power for 5 years so that they can decide. So who is the sovereign? We, the people of India, are sovereign. Okay, we are a representative democracy. Why? Because we are represented by the elected leaders. What is the meaning of democracy? Where demos, people, demo in literal sense means people, cracy means rule. So rule by people. What type of a rule? There could have been direct democracy, where as we see in Sweden. Sweden is a very small country. Okay, 3, 4, 5 lakh people. Norway, again a very small country. They are not countries, they are cities. So for them, it is very easy to decide on their own as to whether they want an airport, a railway line, or uniform civil code, or simultaneous election in their country. But for us, representative democracy, that is in other words also known as indirect democracy, is the best choice. Okay. Okay, so this is there. Democracy, as in Abraham Lincoln's words, as Pradyuman is saying, government where government is of the people, government is for the people, and government is chosen by the people. However, it has turned into a different quote now, government of the people. That means government is not interested in the people. Government by the people. People are bye-byed. People are said goodbye after the neta, after the politician gets elected, after he becomes the minister or he gets chosen. Okay, so these are there. Leaders are elected by people is the basic idea in the representative democracy. Okay, then democracy, as I said, democracy is, this is live class, bache. Indratej, this is live class. Okay, can you explain the topic we are going through? You are joining late, still we are having a basic idea of how the country runs. Okay, why are we a democracy? Second point, why are we a representative democracy? I'm sure many of you must be making notes out of it. Okay, so keep writing. Direct and indirect democracy. Okay, see here. Just a minute. Now, when the people themselves decide, okay, that is DD, direct democracy. When the people, these are people, okay, they choose their representatives, so many people, 1.4, 140 crore people in India, right? So these people, do you think can they arrive at a consensus? No, they cannot arrive at a consensus. So that is why, what do these do? They cast their vote in the EVM. Very basic way mein, in this basic way I'm teaching you. Okay, so they cast their vote through the EVM and they choose their representative. this representative with the Gandhi topi in our country, okay, he is the one who goes to the temple of democracy called as Parliament. He is the one who represents these people in the Parliament. So this is indirect democracy. Okay. Indirect democracy. Power is being given by people. Here also, system number 1 is the indirect democracy. System number 2 is direct democracy. Power is being given by people only, here also and here also. But because we were a large country, so we chose indirect democracy model. Indirect democracy, in other words, is also known as representative democracy. Clear, my dear students, everybody? Anybody, any doubt in this much? Anya, can you please tell me why are we not able to connect with the laptop? I'm just escalating your thing. It should not happen. Okay, so I put a comment from my side to the admin team in the backend, so they will surely help you out. Okay, so this is clear. But my dear students, everybody, see, I'm proceeding very, very slow. There would be certain topics where you who are able to understand this topic very easily are getting bored or feeling frustrated. Okay, there would be others who are not able to understand it. Please bear with me. As a teacher, I have to take everybody along because I am representing you as a teacher. So I'm an elected, if not elected, I'm a selected teacher over here, right? So respect a little bit of my authority so that we can take everybody along, and it is everybody's welfare. As the Prime Minister says in Hindi, sabka saath, sabka vikas, right? Now, direct democracy is where people themselves decide their matter. Okay, they are themselves deciding whether, in Britain, for example, I'll give you a example. In Britain, they decided Brexit. Brexit was put to referendum. Okay, what is referendum? Matter is referred to the people. These referendum type matters are possible in the countries of relatively small size. Okay, so in Sweden, etc., also these matters are decided by directly by putting it to the vote. Okay, to vote of the people. We choose representatives, they decide their every policy matter in the direct democracy through the vote of the people. Okay, through the vote of the people. Whether Brexit has to happen, whether Britain needs to exit European Union, that matter will be put to vote. Okay, whether they should have simultaneous elections in their country, that matter would also be put to vote. Okay, so that is the reason. Got it? So these smaller countries have a luxury, have an advantage that they can have a direct democracy. But larger countries like India, China, they have to have indirect democracy. That means they would be represented by the public. Brexit was Britain's exit from European Union. Brexit is the shorter form for this thing. Whether Britain should exit European Union or not, this matter was also put to the vote of the public. Getting my in the direct democracy type of countries, matters are put to vote. In our representative democracy, people are put to vote. Our representatives are put to vote. Okay, difference between polity and political science. Okay, polity means Indian polity as a subject, number one. Polity means noun, Indian polity as a noun, as a country, India's political system. Now the science that has been built around, these is called political science, political theory. How we should govern our country, the ethics, how much power should be given, Those things are called political science. The theoretical part of it, what is the meaning of democracy, the theoretical, what is the meaning of republic, what is the meaning of indirect democracy, what is the meaning of direct democracy, these things constitute political science. The study of polity, of various countries is called the science of polity, that is political science. Okay, so now you understood, Sankhyayan. Brexit was a method, that Brexit was a policy measure of the Britain's government whether Britain should exit from the European Union, a union of countries, or not. That matter was put to vote. Am I clear? Okay, so now let me take you to the slide again. We are a democracy. We have a written constitution. Why do we have a written constitution? So that, can you reduce the brightness? Okay, just a minute. Now, is it a little better? Maybe my complexion would not look as bright now, but you would be able to see the screen in a better manner. Let me just see. Okay. All right. So, moving here, democracy we have understood. Why have we given the constitution to ourselves? Constitution we have given to ourselves so that there is clarity about rules. Now, many of you are writing side by side. Okay. So, what is the advantage of writing? What is the advantage of writing? You have clarity. There is no ambiguity in your minds as to what is there in the writing. Okay, because if a religious text is written, everybody knows if they are following that religion, what are they expected to do. All right. What is the expectation from them? They know it. If you write something, whatever I am telling you, if you are jotting it down in your notebook, after 3 months, after 3 years, there will be no ambiguity, there will be no doubt. You would say that you have written it, you can't doubt what you have written. So, having a written constitution, having a constitution, written or non-written, okay, gives you the clarity as to what are the fundamental principles of governing India. Okay, as to what are the fundamental principles. If you are born in a family which is vegetarian, so you know that these are the rules which should govern your behavior. If you are born in a family in which everybody gets up early in the morning and takes bath and then eats anything, those are the rules. Anybody born in the country has to obey those rules. Family is a best kind of example of democracy. Father is the leader, mother is the prime minister, she takes care of your welfare like the government, Nirmala Sitharaman, and your elder brothers and all, they are your MLAs kind of a thing. You getting it? Just a rough analogy I am trying to draw to help you understand how the system works. Rules are set by us. If you grow up as adults after your 18 years, you are the ones who set the rules for yourselves. Even if you respect your father, but you say that I want to choose UPSC, I want to go for UPSC civil services exam. Did anybody impose it upon you? No, because you are an adult deciding the matter for yourself. But the basic norms, that you would not be corrupt, that you would be an honest person, you would take care of your family, those things are there in your memory. That is what the meaning of constitution is. Basic fundamental principles of governing the country are delineated or very clearly known to everyone. Got it? So this is the meaning of it. Now, constitution can be of two types, written constitution and non-written constitution. W and W, if you all are able to see it. Okay, written and non-written. So, written constitution has an advantage that it is not very easy to change. Changing the constitution in technical language means amending the constitution. Amendability. Ability to change the constitution means amendability. Okay, so ability to change the constitution means amendability of the constitution. Changing the constitution, amending the constitution means one and the same thing. Now, written, since anything is written, if I want to erase it, see how ugly does it look, right? Or I can use an eraser. Then I will have to rewrite something over it, right? Rewrite. So as mere writing on this slide takes a lot of effort, writing and rewriting, erasing, imagine the constitution that is written, it will obviously be difficult to change it or amend it. That is why written constitution is preferred over the non-written one, right? Written constitution was adopted by the constitution makers in India so that the future generations, any Indira Gandhi, any Modi, with due respect to both the leaders, will not be able to impose or will not be able to bring about dictatorial, irresponsible, non-responsible government. 5-year periodic election will be there. Okay, so these things, when written clearly and are not allowed to be changed with a lot of ease, that gives the sense of permanency. Okay, non-written constitution, Britain had the non-written constitution. Okay, so there the House of Lords, that is the upper house, like we have in Rajya Sabha, have Rajya Sabha in India. So there the constitution is not written. Whatever rule is declared by the parliament, the House of Lords, is considered to be a part of constitution. So the problem with non-written constitution is that it keeps on changing very fast, or there is some element of non-predictability also, right? So that means some other legislature, some other House of Lords will come and change the features of the constitution, change the fundamental principles, right? Now I'll give you an example. See, constitution when is there is going to last for, or it is enacted for ages, last for years. We are now 76 years, right? 76 years, the constitution still remains the same. Yes, England is also an example of it. Okay, so non-written constitution is the judgments of the Supreme Court there, the bills passed by the parliament, they will be considered to be a source of constitution as they are enacted. All right, so that doesn't mean that they are not having their bills, the legislations in writing. They are having the legislations which are enacted by one or the other government in writing only, but they don't have the written constitution like we have in India. Now let me explain this point. Constitution is going to last for centuries. Okay, then we have another instrument, what we call as, just allow 1 minute, that is going to last for this ages. On one hand, this is the constitution. You can please draw it if you feel like. Okay, everything that is done by the parliament, let me draw a quick diagram of the parliament. Imagine this to be the Parliament of India. Okay, parliament is an elected body for 5 years. 5 years, elections will happen, and parliament divided into two parts, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So this is called as bicameral. So far so good, everybody. All these things, election, constitution, their membership details, how many members would be there in Lok Sabha, 5 yearly elections will happen. All these things are given in the written constitution, in the Constitution of India. So this was a one-time activity we dedicated to ourselves, this Constitution 1950, according to which people of India through the Constituent Assembly wrote this constitution. This is going to last for long term. This is not something we are writing every 5 years. Everything that is done in the country needs to conform to the constitution. Now Lok Sabha, the parliament, today Prime Minister Modi is the PM. Okay, he is the leader. His political party BJP is in power. So these people, they enact bills. They introduce bills in the house, in the parliament. These bills, they become act of the parliament. All such acts, for example, uniform civil code, simultaneous elections, reservation for women, okay, non-written constitution a bit more. I am explaining. In non-written constitution, the bills passed by the parliament, as we are studying here, will form a part of the law. There is no permanent fundamental principles. There are no permanent fundamental principles. Whatever the parliament of the day, parliament elected for 5 years decides, that becomes a part of the law. Right? For now, this much is enough for you to understand. We will get into the details of it. That means written constitution, it is rigid in nature because of the written text. Non-written constitution, fundamental clarity is there that okay, these are the contours, these are the broad principles within which the Britain would function, England would function. But broad principles can also be changed by the parliament of 5 years. The only difference between written constitution and non-written constitution is that where there is non-written constitution, parliament is the supreme law-making body. Parliament is the supreme source of law. Supreme source of power. Now see, what is the problem with this? You will understand now. What was your name? Danish. See dear, what happens, it is for everyone, not only for him. 5-yearly government, if allowed to change everything, isn't it risky? Imagine if Mr. Modi says, I am converting the system from parliamentary democracy to presidential government. He will stay in power till 2035. How risky is it? Any leader like Indira Gandhi did so. It has happened in the history of India. We were very close to this kind of a system. Not only this, Turkey. Earlier it was known as Turkey, now it is known as Turkey. The leader there, they had a prime ministerial system earlier. I'll tell you the difference between prime ministerial system in this class only. What he did, he amended the constitution in such a manner that the same leader, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, will now be able to remain in power till 2029. Whereas our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, thanks to the written constitution, thanks to the democracy that we have, thanks to the periodic 5-yearly elections that we have, is going to contest elections from 2019 to 2029, twice over. He will have to face the people, whether he has done good work, whether he can seek the vote of people, whether the budget presented the other day was able to make the people happy or not. While in Turkey, merely because the prime minister became so powerful, he changed the constitution to the extent that without even facing the people, he will be able to continue in power as the president of the country for up till 2029. Got it? If you are able to correlate with this example. Now here in this system where constitution is there, constitution is the supreme legal document. Okay, constitution is the supreme legal document. Why? Because every law passed by the parliament will have to conform to the constitution. In India, this is the scenario because we have a written constitution. Okay, constitution is the supreme legal document. Now every law has to, this yellow line, dotted line tells you about other laws. Can you see any part of the yellow line going out? No. If it goes out, let me change the color of the pen so as to enable you. If it goes out, if it exceeds the scope of this white line, it will be considered as illegal, unconstitutional. Okay, illegal means ultra vires in technical constitutional language. In the language of the political science, somebody, Kirti or somebody was asking, illegal means ultra vires, the constitution, VIRES. Okay, Satyavrat, how the constitution was created? I'll answer that also. Constitution was created as a one-time activity whereby we gave ourselves a constituent assembly. Constituent assembly was not directly elected by the people, but that constituent assembly, after wide consultations, after referring to the constitution of England, US, South Africa, Japan, Ireland, all those constitutions of that time that existed between 1946 to 1949, all of them were studied by the advisor, by the chairperson, B.N. Rao, the advisor to the Constituent Assembly. Then they, after giving a lot of thought to it, they said, yes, this is the constitution we dedicate to ourselves as a nation. India, that is Bharat, will be a union of states having written constitution. All the features of 5-yearly elections, all the rules of governing the country are mentioned in the constitution. As the name tells you, constitution. We, the people of India, constitute ourselves into a nation called India, that is Bharat, according to this constitution, which will be governed according to the provisions of the constitution. Anything that will happen in the Indian polity after 26th January 1950 shall happen according to what is given in the constitution. After ransacking, okay, don't use that word. Okay, ransacking is a negative word. You can use after referring to all the constitutions. Got it? No law enacted by the parliament or state legislature shall exceed the white line. If it exceeds, it will be challenged in the Supreme Court, that is Judiciary. Judiciary will declare it to be invalid. Am I right? Am I clear to everyone? A quick yes will be of lot of help to me. So you can draw this white boundary. Within white boundary, you can draw some different colored boundary if you have multiple pens or something. All the laws have to conform to the constitution. CONFORM. Okay. To anyone to whom this is not clear, okay, Mahi, I see your comment. Soumya, Himanshi, amendments can be made in our constitution. So can calling it rigid is okay. Okay, very nice. So any other doubt? Himanshi, see, we are in the first lecture. Okay, so I'm giving you an easier view of things. But if I will start talking about something, let me tell them at this juncture itself. There are two sets of principles. One is they are rigid, the basic features, and the other part of features of the constitution, other provisions of the constitution which are not as rigid, flexible features. Okay, our constitution is semi-flexible, semi-rigid. I was escaping from this for till now so that we can deal with the basics first. Then in the last leg of this lecture, we are 42 minutes into the lecture now, 40 minutes. So by around 1.5 hours, I would have told you this thing also, why the judiciary enacted the basic structure of constitution. This is the very beauty of our constitution. So I'll come to that also, Himanshi. Okay, you got what I'm saying? I have to take everybody along. There are people who are not. Amit, my dear friend, you are not giving my answer. What is your question? Please repeat it once. I'll be happy to help you. Sir, I'm not able to write down everything. It's a little bit fast. Okay, Arjun, I'll be a little slow. Take your time. I give you 30 seconds. In the meantime, I will entertain anybody else's doubt. Then how could we have selected the borrowing of few elements from the, then how could we have selective borrowing of the few features? We borrowed according to what suited us, according to what suits the Indian condition. Okay, difference between law and act. It is rigid, not restricted. It is semi-rigid and semi-flexible. Arjun, I give you enough time. Amit, please for me type your doubt again. I'm sorry if I missed out on that. What are the directive principles? Kalyani, I will answer that at a little later stage very quickly. In this class itself, I will give you the glimpse of what are fundamental rights, what are fundamental duties. Okay. You will give notes Yes, notes will be dictated, but these beautiful or ugly things may not be there in the notes. So these are drawings. I will definitely give you the notes, but I may not be able to give you these drawings, okay? So on a lighter note, I'm saying so. So don't hesitate from drawing these things. Have at least two colored pens, red or blue, or red, blue or green. Explain preamble, okay? I will explain preamble also by the end of this class. Arpit, can you explain the white line rule? White line is the border line. Anything to happen in the country, Indian polity, has to be within the white line, has to be within the constitutional line. Okay. If anything goes beyond the white line, it's like the white line in the cricket. That will be declared as white ball. Now you got it? Amit, I'm confused in lower house and upper house, sir. Please make me understand. Okay, Amit, in 5 minutes, I haven't yet explained the upper house and the lower house. Lower house is called Lok Sabha, upper house is called Rajya Sabha. L for lower, U for upper, upper Rajya Sabha, lower Lok Sabha. Okay, this much is it. What is a bill? I will answer this. How the constitution is both rigid and flexible. Yes, how is it? Our constitution is both rigid and flexible. Why? Because it is easy to amend the features, certain features which do not constitute the basic feature of our constitution. And at the same time, it is easy to amend those features. It is not so easy to amend those features which are very basic, which are fundamental. Okay. Now I'll tell you, if you are born in a family where eating non-vegetarian food is a sin, okay, that is your basic feature. But if you are allowed to eat egg, that means your family is relatively flexible also. You can eat egg, but you cannot take somebody's life, some animal's life. Egg is still not born. Got it? The egg part is still not born. So isn't it, can we not say that your family is both rigid and flexible? On one hand, they are saying you are allowed to be vegetarian, but you have to be vegetarian. Now consider a constitution where any form of non-veg, any form of egg, etc. is not allowed. That is the rigid. Okay, so our constitution allows to change the features, those features of the constitution which should reflect the contemporary citizens, contemporary times. Now today we are an economic democracy, liberalized democracy. Earlier we were a socialist democracy. What is socialist democracy? Where all the means of production are owned by the government. Okay. All the resources are owned by the society, community. But capitalism, private sector is not allowed. Now, after 1991 reforms, because of the need of the time, we converted ourselves into a capitalized, a liberalized democracy where private profit, private ownership of property is fully allowed. You can own anything you want. That is why we see inequality has increased. So earlier there was no right to property. Another example, earlier there was there's no right to privacy. Now in 2017, because of the digital nature of democracy, because of advent of internet, we now have digitalization. So people are asking for right to privacy. Why should my photographs be leaked out or your personal photographs be leaked out? Why should your chats with your loved ones, near and dear ones, be out there in the public domain? So that is why, what do we have now? We have right to privacy as a fundamental right. So our constitution strikes a very fine balance between the features which need to remain permanent and the features which can be adapted according to the needs of time, temporariness. Okay, so if you are I gave the egg example and the chicken example, the non-veg example. If you are hungry and on the verge of dying, you can eat egg. That is what your family allows you. But there are certain families, typically Brahmins or typically Puritanicals, they would not allow even the toothpaste made with something non-vegetarian elements, right? Doubts it between, okay, Vidhi, what I'll do is, now please bear with me. We are at 50 minutes of the class duration. We will not entertain any doubt for next 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I will entertain all your doubts. Please bear with me. Please have some patience. Give me some time, guys, so that we can have some productivity also. Now let's begin. So this is constitution. Everything in the country, if everything in the country happens according to the constitution, then what are we constituting? Then what we have in the country is constitutionalism. Got it? First, understand this part. If everything in the country happens according to the constitution, then what we call that system? We call that system as constitutionalism. Okay. If I am a Hindu, if everything I do is according to Hinduism, I am a pure Hindu. If I am a Muslim, we are a secular country and I'm a polity teacher, so I have to give secular examples respecting all the religions. If I am a Muslim, if everything I do according to Islam, then I am a pure Islamic person, pure Muslim, right? Waking up at 4 in the Hinduism, Muslim. But if I am flexible, then some puritanical Hindu, some sadhu would say, some priest would say that you are not preaching the Hinduism in its eternity. Got it? So what is happening in the country is this, gaps in the fingers. Okay, what the constitution wants is this, strict constitutionalism. If both of them, if there is no gap, then it is, then we can say that the what is happening in the polity is mirroring the constitution. Constitution rigid, no gap in the fingers. Polity, there are gaps in the practices. What is mentioned in the constitution may not actually be happening in the country. Example, very basic. We said people are the supreme source of power. But after getting elected, our ministers, they become supreme source of power. Somebody says PM is, talking in Man Ki Baat, PM is wearing swanky goggles, okay, and he's wearing watch of some other Louis Vuitton, etc. So he's wearing branded clothes of other countries, whereas he's talking about make in India goods, Swadeshi thing. Somebody would say that ministers become powerful even as, why do you want to be in IAS, Indian Administrative Service? But many IAS officers, after getting into the services, they forget the S. They are Indian Administrative Officer. So they become powerful than the sovereign. This gap between the constitution, the text of the constitution, and what is actually happening in the democracy is called lack of constitutionalism. Got it? Is it clear to everybody? Just answer on this question. As I said, after 28 minutes from now, all the doubts I will browse through the comment section and will answer. Got it? Constitution is the written text. It's like Bhagavad Gita or Quran or Bible. If everything is being done according to what is given in the Bible or any other religious script, that means it's Christianity in practice. It's constitutionalism 100%. But if there is some gap, some incongruity, that means the practice, the constitution, the way it is being practiced is not in sync with the way it should be practiced. This is the meaning of difference between constitution and constitutionalism. Okay, suppose these are two mics. If they tally with one another, this is constitutionalism. But if I keep some other mic above it, let's say this mic, is it going to go above it? This is constitution and this is constitutionalism. What we are implementing in the country, there is a lot of gap between the theory and practice. That gap is captured by the concept of constitutionalism. Done? Let's move further. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now the thumbs up that will be coming from now will be assumed to be for the concept of constitutionalism only. Please give a quick thumbs up or quick yes. Click on the yes button so that I can get to know. Now moving further. Now we are a bicameral legislature. Another part, bicameral means where there are two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha, it is a Hindi word. It is called upper house. Okay, why upper house? One reason is the elderly members, they sit here. The members who are relatively of old age, as per the qualifications given in the constitution, okay, the members who are of relatively older age, they get elected to Rajya Sabha. And members who are elected in the Lok Sabha, they are of a younger age. That is one part. Rajya means Council of States. Okay, the word Rajya means Council of States. Just a minute. Okay, Rajya, other meaning of Rajya is Council of States. Something has happened to it. Okay, I'll try to use it by the time it bounces back. Yeah, here we are. I have some blank slides at last, so we'll use them rather. Yeah, here we go. Now the whole canvas is ours. So we were drawing this constitution very quickly. Then these are houses of the parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. All right. Now, what is the meaning of bill? As per the constitution, let's say it is Article 21. Now, Article 21 deals with right to life and personal liberty. This is just an example. Okay, this is just an example. Now, I will answer each one of your doubts. Hold on for 15 minutes. Right to life and personal liberty. What do you mean by personal liberty? Basic meaning. You are at liberty to do anything. Okay. You are at liberty to go adopt Hinduism. You are at liberty to appear for UPSC civil services exam or Odisha PCS or Uttar Pradesh PCS. And you are at liberty to go and take a holy bath in Mahakumbh. Anything you can do. Likewise, you can install WhatsApp, create an account on Facebook, right? But if somebody tells you that your Article 21 is in danger, your exercise of Article 21, your enjoyment of Article 21 is in danger because the chats that you are having on WhatsApp with, let's say, your brother, your sister, your loved ones, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, anything, okay, liberty. We will be having liberal examples in this class. If you want to protect that, so what are we supposed to do? Articles are in the skeletal format. Our constitution is divided into various parts. In various parts are divided into articles. Okay, let's now talk about parts and articles only. These articles are in skeletal format. Okay, let me draw a hanger very quickly. Okay, let's say this is your article. Article is coming from constitution. It's hinging on the pipe of constitution only. Anything to hang needs the support. Articles have the support of constitution. Anything to be done in the country, as I said through the white line, yellow line and green line example, has to be legitimate, has to be has to be okayed from the constitutional point of view. Now this hanger will be used to create a bill. Okay, bill means the raw shirt that we are making. Okay, imagine this to be a raw shirt. These are the sleeves. Can this bill exceed the scope of the shirt? Yes, it is exceeding, right? It is exceeding the scope of the article. That means articles are given in the constitution as we just studied. So we will have to erase this law. The tailor, who is the tailor here? Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. A bill is introduced in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha to make the bill an act, right? Now, since this is exceeding, what we will do? We will erase that part of the law which is exceeding the scope of the hanger. What is hanger? Article. Article that is in constitution. So article is the legitimate part. We have to have only as much of shirt as it conforms to the hanger part. Got it? On which it is hanging. Otherwise shirt will look pretty loose and the wearer, the person who wears that shirt would also not look that cool, would also not look in shape. So the shirt has to conform to the hanger always. Got it? Roughly, very, very roughly I'm explaining things to you. Now this is the shirt. This is the button line that is running. Okay. Now this law is made for whole of the India. We know India is a diverse country. People speaking Odia, people eating idli, people speaking Malayalam, people speaking Telugu, people speaking Maratha. Can this single shirt being sold on various showrooms of Levi's or Tommy or anything, can this be of same pattern? No, there has to be some scope for alteration. Somebody would need apple cut, somebody would be a little fat. So shirts which are ready made are given some scope for alteration. What is this alteration part? The rules. See, yellow part constitution, green part law, third part rules. Okay, so constitutional provisions. I should have written it in yellow, but pardon me. Okay, this is constitution, this is law, later on enacted into an act. Okay, law and act are more or less the same. I should write it bill, later on enacted into the act. Then the last part, the one which is going to be in blue color, are the rules. Okay, now the government enacts this, let's say an act whose name is Right to Education Act. RTE Act. We are talking about Right to Education Act, which was enacted in the country in the year 2009. Right? Now, what will happen? Act says general provisions. That Act is saying, this RTE Act is saying that there should be a school. Okay, green color. There should be a school at every 10 kilometers, so that anybody like Manmohan Singh need not go 20 kilometers to go to school. Manmohan Singh said in one of his speeches, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, the late one, okay, so he said that he used to go for 15 kilometers by walk to reach his school. That is why RTE Act reflects the ideology of the leader, the Prime Minister. RTE Act says that since we are a diverse and large country, let us first have the rule, let us first have the provision in the Act that there should be a school at every 10 kilometers distance. Okay. Now, this is good for plain areas. But is it good for the hilly regions? Imagine 10 kilometers, you are coming like jalebi. You are moving like rounds and rounds, you have to come down. 10 kilometers will be very far. In plain region, what is 10 kilometers? In hilly regions, it will be around 20 kilometers. Or people will go down the slope. as you see some kids in the mountain region. So the act says that there should be a school at 10 kilometers or as per the rules drafted by the ministry at every reasonable distance in the hilly and northeastern states of India. So the word rule is like the job of the tailor who does the detailing work. It is the job of the administration. What administration does is you go to the tailor, you buy the shirt and you give it for alteration. Wherever you want the pocket to be, you will put the pocket over there. Wherever you want the cufflinks, what type of button you want, you can get the buttons put up as per your choice. Got my point? Act is made, a bill is drafted according to the constitutional provisions, then it becomes an act once it passes through green color, once it passes through the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both the houses, it becomes an act. Once it becomes an act, concerned ministry, what we call as ministry or executive, will pass rules. These rules are the detailed work. Okay. Another example, right to life. What do you need in order to live a life? What do you need? Quickly tell me. Food, first of all. Food, clothing, shelter. Okay. Now, right to food is a fundamental right in our country according to Article 21. On this thing, the government enacted National Food Security Act. The act says that everybody should be given access to at least 2000 or 2200 calories of food. What is the meaning of National Food Security Act says everybody should get 2200 kilocalories. For act we are using green color, right? 2200 calories of food every day. Now in Punjab it could be wheat, right? Whether it would be wheat or rice, this is decided by rules. Okay, in Punjab it will be wheat. In Tamil Nadu it could be idli, sambar, dosa. In West Bengal it will be rice and fish, anything of that nature. Adaptation of a law, adaptation of an act to its ground realities. Am I being too fast, Arjun? I remember the names, so don't get surprised. How do you remember? Anybody posting any doubt, I will remember your name till at least the batch gets concluded. Arjun, are you there? Got my point? Who forms the bills and act? Let me take it. See, if you will move one step forward, I mean, it will create trouble in the class only. Okay, I will answer all your curiosity. It will be satiated by the end of the class. Please give me some time. Give me the luxury as a teacher to run at a pace. I can see everybody's doubt here. You cannot, right? So I know the wavelength at which I have to teach. 𝐂𝐍𝐃𝐄𝐃 Federation, I am teaching you the sky. You want to talk about stars. Please don't do that. Hello, Karan. Hello, Karan Raj. Clear, everybody? Abrar? Komal, is this clear to you? Sharafat, is it clear? Vaishnavi? Arjun? Okay, so this is there. Okay, so now who forms the bills? Okay, see, as I told you, we elect government every 5 years. Okay, government is elected. We go for periodic polls. Lok Sabha polls are held every 5 years. Rajya Sabha polls are held every 2 years, 1/3 of the seats. These are very, very detailed provisions. That is why I was not inclined to answer this. Okay, Rajya Sabha, that is why is called a permanent house. These details are not relevant at this point of time. Details are for later stage. Okay. Okay, now 5 years periodic elections, EVMs. Let me draw a EVM. If anybody is drawing with me, it will be helpful for you. Now we choose members of parliament. MP from Punjab, Patiala district, MP from some other UP Raebareli district, okay, RB, UP Lucknow district, UP Lucknow MP seat, then your Prayagraj seat. Likewise, there are a lot of MPs elected. There are a total of 545 MPs. Okay, why did we choose the parliamentary system, the prime ministerial system? We chose parliamentary system because members of parliament will be the best suited. If we are a diverse country, it's better to have diverse set of members rather than giving the authority to one Gujarati. Everybody may not like Gujarati. Everybody may not like Manmohan Singh, the Sikh leader. Everybody may not like Indira Gandhi. But to solve the problems in a diverse country like India, such a diverse country, right? Sorry for the bad drawing, but I love my country more than anybody else maybe. Okay, so people from south, people from north, people from Madhya Pradesh, northeastern India, capital is Delhi. But can one leader solve all the problems of the people? No, that is why we have members of parliament. A Raja from Tamil Nadu, then Kerala. Okay, they all go and choose the leader. That leader becomes the prime minister. Let's write Modi over here with due respect. Okay, these MPs, they cast their vote. All the 545 MPs, once they are elected by the people of their region, people of their constituency. Constituency word comes from constituents. The constituents of a constituency choose an MP. That MP, once he is elected, goes to Delhi. He gets a bungalow or a duplex house in Delhi near President's house. Okay, he sits there, he resides there when the parliament's sessions are going on. Budget session, monsoon session, winter session, likewise. Okay, these MPs represent the local cause. As we studied in the first 10 minutes, representatives. They are the representatives of the people. Okay, these representatives, they espouse the cause of people. Now we see that Mulla Periyar Dam, example in Kerala. Mulla Periyar Dam might burst someday. MP from Kerala will go to Delhi and rise in his chair asking the speaker to please look into this issue. Okay, once he raises his voice from the temple of democracy, the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, that voice echoes across the newspapers, TV channels. MP XYZ he rose in the chair and he raised the matter of Mulla Periyar Dam. People then say that 3 cheers for that MP because he is raising the matter of their concern, matter of concern to people living in Wayanad in Kerala, people who are vulnerable to that disaster. Likewise, anybody from UP, since Kumbh Mela is happening, will raise the matter of stampede, people who died in Kumbh Mela. Representative of Prayagraj will raise that matter. That puts the pressure on the government. Government will do something to address that reason, address that cause. Okay, so this person who secures 273, how much is 273? 50% plus one additional MP will be required by the Prime Minister Modi to become the Prime Minister. So we are called a parliamentary form of government. This question was asked by UPSC, okay, prelims, parliamentary form of government, because the leader who forms the government, Prime Minister, okay, he is elected on the basis of his majority in the parliament, the Lok Sabha. On the basis of the leader's majority in Lok Sabha, Lok Sabha is directly elected house. Directly elected as signified through EVM. People themselves are the constituents of that constituency. The constituents of that constituency are casting the vote, and directly elected house, Lok Sabha, gets the directly elected members. These directly elected members choose one of their leaders. He is called that leader of house, leader of Lok Sabha. That leader of Lok Sabha becomes the Prime Minister. That Prime Minister forms the government. This is the government. He will allocate the ministerial portfolios, ministries to Rajnath Singh, to Nitin Gadkari sir, to N number Amit Shah. Okay, he chooses his confidantes, the ones he reposes his trust in, the ones he can trust. He makes them the ministers. Those ministers will be they will be responsible for running their respective ministries. If anything happens in the home ministry, if anything happens wrong in the country, any terror attack within the country, home ministry will be responsible. If anything happens on the border, defense minister will be responsible. Now, who forms these bills? This was one of your questions. Just allow me a minute. Okay, I'm taking a screenshot, right, so that these could be shared with you. Leave it. For today's class, I'll leave it. I want you to jot it down. Need to add some more slides to it. Struggling with that only. Just allow me 1 minute. Okay, here we are. Now see, I'm drawing the political map of the constitution in a way that will help you gain command on this. Yeah, I'm struggling with the pen, this thing, chart thing. Now see, here, government, we call it as union government. Okay, union government is headed by the president. This chart is going to be very important, who happens to be the nominal head. Okay, prime minister is the real head of the government. Here is the prime minister, and here are the various ministers. M1, minister 1, M2, M3, M4. Right? These M4 are the top powerful ministries. Any prime minister would want his men, any powerful prime minister would want his men to be here. He is the leader of the government, prime minister. Under him work various ministers. These four are called four powerful ministries. Okay, these are, if I want to defend my country, Minister of Defense should be mine. If I would become the Prime Minister, Minister of Home Affairs, Prime Minister Modi's confident leader, Amit Shah is there. Minister of Defense, Rajnath Singh, belonging to BJP again. Minister 3 is going to be Minister of External Affairs, S. Jaishankar. Okay, he again is a confidant of the Prime Minister. Then, who's the fourth one? Tell me. Minister of Finance. If there is no money, there is no honey in life, right? Minister of Finance, Nirmala Sitharaman. She keeps on praising the Prime Minister day in and day out, whole day and night. If you wake him up in the night and ask him what is happening, ask her what is happening, she'll say PM Modi is great. These four leaders, on a lighter note, are such. They'll always play the bigule of Prime Minister. And it is not only about Modi, it is about previous Prime Ministers also. Wake them up in the night, just wake them like this. What's up? What are you dreaming? Prime Minister Modi is great. This is what they say on a lighter note. Happens or not? Right? Now the other ministers are Minister of Agriculture. Okay. Then Minister of Railways, Minister of Road Transport and Highways. Right? So these ministries, they draft their bills. Here is the Parliament. Because we are a parliamentary form of government, I am writing Parliament above. Parliament has got two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay. On the basis of the majority of the government in Lok Sabha, government is formed. 273 MPs support should be gotten by the political party in power. You want me to crack the joke again, or you want me to explain the concept again? Because Bharati, you've come at a very right time when we are joking about the person who keeps on saying Mere Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Okay, so I respect the Prime Minister Modi a lot. There is nothing wrong. It's just that many of you have slept, so I just want to wake you up. See, union government, Prime Minister is the real head of the government and President is the nominal head of the government. Okay, Prime Minister is chosen on the basis of majority in the House. Okay, Prime Minister is chosen on the basis of majority in the House. Which House? Popularly elected House. What is this popularly elected House? The Lok Sabha. There is another House of the Parliament, what we call as Rajya Sabha. Why green? We should choose orange color. Orange should have been chosen for BJP. I mistook. Here, let's choose Rajya Sabha. Okay. Now, I will come to why do we have Rajya Sabha, who all are elected to Rajya Sabha. Please hold on. Okay. So, on the basis of the party's majority in the Lok Sabha, whether that party will form the government or not is decided. Okay, union government. Green means yes, party has got majority. Okay, 273. Divide 273 by 545. But I will come to that. Now these are the ministers. Got it? Decide. This is the union level. Union level. Why do we have a federation? Why do we need a federation, union level and state level? Having two levels is called union level and then state level and then sub-state level or sub-federal level, the local bodies. Union level, okay. So we have those subjects at the union level which are nationally important. Do we have separate currency for separate states? In Bengal we say rokda chalta hai, rokda another currency, okay. In Punjab we say rupiah chalta hai. Do we do like this? No, we have a single currency. So union level where there is a unified policy required, telecom policy, okay, where there is one policy required for all the states. Can the state of Bangladesh, can the state of West Bengal have its own relationship with Bangladesh? Can Rajasthan or Punjab have relationship with Pakistan? No. International relations of India. That is why we have Minister of External Affairs. Okay. Now, what is governed at the state level? What can be governed? Any subject matter that could be governed, better governed from closer to the ground level. I'm not saying from the ground level, closer to the ground level. Okay, ground level. What is the, I mean, if let's say at union level, if some crime or murder happens in your area, you are calling CRPF, Central Reserve Police Force. They will start from Delhi, and by the time that crime would have happened, criminals would have ran, they would reach. It's better to have Punjab Police. It's better to have Maharashtra Police. That is why the subjects that are governed from closer to the ground, Fire Department. Have you ever heard Central Fire Department? No. Can the central department, by the time the fire brigade will reach there, everything would be into ashes. That is why agriculture. Agriculture is governed from health. Can you have a hospital ambulance coming all the way from Delhi? Person would be dead and cremated. That is why health, agriculture, okay, these subjects are governed from ground level. Health, agriculture, public order, policing. Got it? So, having these two layers makes our country a federal system. Federal system is a system where there are two levels of the government. Got it? What is the sub-federal level? Having the local bodies is called sub-federal level. Sometimes understanding of these terms is required for understanding the questions in the mains exam. Sub-federal level. Having these two means we are a federal polity. Subjects are divided by the constitution. Okay. Komal, why are you running one step ahead? If I'm teaching something, you talk about quasi-federal. Bache, be with me, okay? Don't get offended. You are asking something which is of no use at this point. Still, I will answer. Anglo-Indian seats are reserved for people who were from England. Our Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, our first Home Minister, wanted ICS officers to stay back in India. Indian Civil Services officers. The British officers. Now that they have retired, they have long gone to their country. Some of them died in our country, India only. Why should we now have two Anglo-Indian seats? That is why Article 331 was repealed or amended. That is why they are not now nominated in the parliament. Okay. If you are here to check my knowledge, I do not now give the personal tuitions, etc. I could have given you that. Okay. So please, let's proceed at the pace of the class. To answer your curiosity, if these ministers make bill, I'm coming to that. Okay. So now see this. We were here. Now we are at the state level. Okay. State level. Again, there will be a governor, nominal head. Then below governor, we will have CM, real head. Below CM, again 4 ministers. You wake them up in the night. They will take the name of their chief minister and will say he or she is great. Amma is great. Uncle is great. Tau is great. That is how they will name it. Okay. Because sycophancy works in the political system of India. You don't have to be capable. You just have to be loyal. Yes, sir. That is what operates in the ministry. Okay. So these are the ministers. State level ministries, they work upon the subjects given in these subjects. There are 3 lists: list 1, list 2 and list 3. Union list, on which union parliament can make laws. State list, on which state legislature can make law. Okay. And there is concurrent list, on which both concurrently can make laws. Concurrent list. There are 3 lists: list 1, list 2, list 3. Am I clear? Yes. This is the title of the class. Just taking you to the title. Introduction to the Indian polity is going on. We cannot be rigid, watertight, compartmentalized class. We cannot have what is democracy, constitutionalism, 3 organs of state. Okay, everything is going to be wound up in this class itself. Some of it will be left. Got it now? Everyone, are you with me? Now, who creates these bills? Here we are. These ministries, can I erase it now? If anyone wants to take the screenshot or anything, you can. 1. I give you 5 seconds each for each slide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Screenshot taken if it is allowed by the application. I'm not aware. Next slide. Screenshot please take if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Had it been somebody else's photograph, no, you would have taken a click within 1 second. You understand what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Done. Then this is all hodgepodge. Why would you take a screenshot of it? This one you can take quickly. All right, let's proceed. Now, these ministries, okay, various ministries are there. there are two types of ministries. On the left hand side, we are writing cabinet ministries. Okay. These are the senior ministers. This is the pictorial representation of cabinet and council of ministers. Okay, cabinet, and this is council of ministers. Maximum number of ministers we can have in council of ministers is 81, and here we usually have 12 to 15 in cabinet. Out of these 81, only 12 to 15 get to become cabinet ministers. Okay, screenshot is not allowed. Yes, I am coming to that, Sonam. Okay, cabinet ministers are the senior ones. Okay, Article 74 says that these articles are not important as of now. This is just for your thing. Okay. Sir, white background is more eye-catching. Okay. So, now Article 74 says that there shall be a council of ministers to aid and advise president, the nominal head. Okay. So, council of ministers is an advisory body, but 81, do you think these 81, they are like Minister of Finance, first of all, Minister of Home Affairs, and then Minister of Defense, Minister of External Affairs? These are obviously there. Rest of the subjects which are important to the country's governance: agriculture, fisheries, food processing, anything that is of importance, railway minister, anything that is of importance gets the tag of cabinet. Inner coterie, this is the inner circle. Let's decide, whenever some big matter in your family, you have uncles, chacha, taya, bua, fufa, mama, everybody. Whom does your father consult? Does he consult all the 81 relatives? Is it possible? If it is a matter of your marriage or you going for UPSC, if all the 81 members are to be consulted, many of them you will have to have that evil eye, because you will have to hang that in your house before inviting all of them to decide whether you should go for IAS preparation or not. Getting my point? Not everybody is happy about it. Am I right? On a lighter note, you will have to have that Om Bhurva Swaha, Najar se bachao, I mean, save me from evil eye, that kind of a thing you will have to have or not? Got it? You will have to do some remedies before telling everyone that you are getting married or you are going to go for UPSC preparation. Right? Similarly, it's very difficult. Somebody would say for your marriage menu of items, food items, they would need pani puri, they would need dosa, somebody would need pizza. The list will go on. It will create a lot of problem. So that is why only 12 to 15 important ministers are consulted whenever they decide any policy matter. Okay, cabinet meetings. Cabinet meetings are headed by the cabinet. Any cabinet meeting is headed by the Prime Minister and then cabinet ministers. Okay, cabinet ministers. And then they decide, okay, Prime Minister says, since Prime Minister is very popular, very powerful, Mr. Modi, if I decide once that I am going to do this thing, then I'm not going to listen to myself. Salman Khan's dialogue it is, अगर मैंने एक बार अपने आप से कमिटमेंट कर दी तो मैं अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनता. दिस इज इन हिंदी, बट व्हाट डज ही से? इफ वंस आई कमिट एनीथिंग टू माई सेल्फ, आई विल नॉट इवन लिसन टू माई सेल्फ. दिस इज हाउ ही लुक्स. Rigid attitude, right? Powerful, strong decision maker, right? Yes, many chefs will spoil the dish itself. Many cooks will spoil the broth. So this is the cabinet. Now what happens is, let's say Ministry of Electronics, MEITY, if they want to decide on a matter, Ministry of Electronics and Information and Technology, they draft the data protection bill. Okay, this data protection bill will be then put before cabinet's meeting. Cabinet approves this bill. Okay, then it is sent to cabinet, gives the approval. Okay, then it is sent to Parliament. Okay, Parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Bill will pass through Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and it becomes an act. Manish, I am going to give the dictation for notes also, my dear friend. Got it? Now is it clear who drafts the bill, how the bill is drafted? The matter to whom, to which the Minister of Defense, if we want to have drones or if we want to acquire new airplanes or if we want, okay, defense is something, if budget is there, budget will be drafted by Union Finance Ministry. It will again be sent to the cabinet. Cabinet approves it, then it is presented in the parliament. Once the parliament votes upon it, it becomes an act. Got it? Data Privacy Bill belongs to Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. As the name tells you, Ministry of Information Technology, computers, data, etc. So this ministry will draft the bill. Any bill is drafted by the concerned ministry. If it is a farm law bills, then it will be drafted by Minister of Agriculture. Agriculture Ministry subject it is. After being drafted, after being made a proposal, being made into a proposal, this will be sent to cabinet. Once it is sent to the cabinet, cabinet sometimes suggests certain amendments. Okay, I'm explaining this again only. Raja Nandini, I'm explaining that only, right? Once a bill which is drafted, see, your mother prepares a draft list of, not a patriarchal mindset person, but just giving you an example. Your mother prepares a list of items to be ordered in ration, groceries. No, this concept of council and cabinet is applicable at the state level itself. Very good question. Now, from now onwards, if there will be any such question, any such thing that we are studying for union level, assume that it is similarly, not identically, it is similarly applicable to the state level, unless I say to the contrary. Got my point? If I am saying anything in these classes, unless I specify that this is not applicable for the state level, assume on your own that it is going to be applicable. Got it? Now, your mother makes a list of groceries in the evening or on the Saturday. In my family, it used to happen like this. We will prepare a list of items. This has to be ordered. This has to be ordered. Not in this era of Blinkit. When I was a kid. Okay. So then when the father will be free on Saturdays or Sundays, we'll put a list. Jam, this much is to be ordered. Father as the Prime Minister will approve it, or he will make certain amendments to it. Who is the concerned ministry? If I am a student, I am the Minister of Education in my family. My elder sister will be the Minister of Education. She will decide what books do I need, what pencil box do I need, how many pencils and cutters would I need. So I, as a secretary to the ministry, will draft the proposal. I'll send it to my minister. My minister will send it to the Prime Minister, father. Got it? Secretaries are actually making these draft bills. Secretary of ministry will actually be the one who will draft the bill. He will read it out to the minister. Minister says, no, Prime Minister may not like this, or Prime Minister will like that. Please incorporate that. Then when the bill is finally internally within the ministry, if it is decided, it is sent to the cabinet for approval. Right? If there are disputes within the ministers, if there are some interministerial disputes, I'll give you an example. Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Defense, what other ministry shall I write? Ministry of Civil Aviation, Mauka, chance. In Hindi, it is Mauka. In English, it is chance. Okay. Drones, matter of drones. You please answer, under which ministry would this matter of drones fall? Quickly. AMOD. Okay, you type the full name. I'll incorporate the poll option also in the coming classes. Yes, MOD. Okay. So what happened? Drones bill was actually drafted by the cabinet. It is written was actually drafted by the Ministry of Defence. When this bill was presented to the cabinet headed by Prime Minister, arrow should be here, but because of space constraint, I'm writing it here. MHA. They all objected to it. Got it? Minister of Defence and Minister of Home Affairs, Minister of Civil Aviation, Minister of Defence and Minister of Home Affairs did not agree to this proposal. That why drones be managed by Ministry of Defence alone? There are some drones which fly up to the height of, okay, what did the PM do? What did the cabinet do? Cabinet created a high power committee. Orange color, yeah, the green color is fine. Okay, cabinet created a high power committee headed by, managed by cabinet secretary. There is a cabinet secretary, we will talk about him. And there was Secretary 1, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Secretary 2, Ministry of Home Affairs, Secretary 3, Ministry of Defence. They took 15 days and they came up with a fresh proposal. After discussion, they placed it before the cabinet again. After the consultation amongst them, the proposal was drones up to 25 kilometers. Shooting of these video weddings and all. Drones up to 15 kilometers of the height will be managed by Home Ministry. Drones up to 40 kilometers of height will be managed by MHA. Drones above 40 kilometers of height, okay, above 40 and above, will be managed by MOCA, Ministry of Civil Aviations. This is how the disputes or the lack of coordination happens, and then high power committee of bureaucrats, the senior bureaucrats who have spent their lives in the ministries, the seasoned bureaucrats as we call them, the ones you are aspiring to become, they arrive at this type of a consensus. Somebody was asking, Arpit was asking, the comment has gone up a little up. Okay, his question was, sir, what about the finance ministry? How would the cabinet? Finance ministry asks for proposals from all the ministries and even the state level bodies, state level ministers. The work starts in November 2024. Work for formulation of budget would have started. Lot of consultations, lot of meetings between various secretaries of state government, of union government, then union government secretaries inter se. Then they arrived at a beautiful document called the budget. Okay. The lecture would not be. See, this is just an example. Let's not go by the facts. Okay, as of now, whatever I'm saying is just an example. I will have to cross check whether it is 15 kilometers or 20 kilometers. Okay, because these things are given in the rules. The rules keep on changing sometimes. This is not rigid. Rules, as I said, are adaptable to the ground realities. Okay, so as of now, I said 15. You tell me what would be the logic. Up to 15 kilometer would be under whose control? Home Affairs. Police can shoot them down. Above 15 kilometers, it is defense aerodromes, etc. are there, right? They can be surveillanced by somebody having wrong intentions for India. Got it? Now, what is the role of judiciary? Judiciary is very powerful when it comes to Let me quickly tell you. Legislature, executive, judiciary. Why the red line? There is a strict separation of powers between judiciary and the other two organs. Legislature's role is to, these are seats in the Lok Sabha, okay, or Rajya Sabha included. Here sits the speaker, the chairperson of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, okay, the speaker of Lok Sabha. So the party which has got, let's use the orange color now, Chota Fenta and Bada Fenta included. 273, 545, these things are there, right? Okay, so 545 out of 545 seats in Lok Sabha, 273 should belong to the ruling political party. Okay, here it is the executive, again Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers, as we have just seen, all the 81. They are the part of the executive. Okay, they are all with full body. Okay, don't confuse, it's just that quickly I'm drawing this, scribbling this. So all of them, what they do is they propose a law. This law draft bill, this bill is proposed. We are not dealing with that cabinet part again, we've already studied that. Okay, the draft bill is sent to the Lok Sabha, which if enacted becomes an act. Bill passed through Lok Sabha becomes an act. Act gives the power to executive ministries to implement that law. Okay, here comes the administration. Okay, this part is called ministers. PM and ministers are called political executive. In the books, in the newspaper, the political executive, political part of the government. Here it is called as administration. Where from the administration starts? First is the senior most secretary. Okay, then secretary can have joint secretary or additional secretary. Okay, these secretaries are the senior most officials. Then below them there are under secretaries. Okay, they are all the officers, the bureaucrats. What is the meaning of bureau? File. Crats means the ones who rule by rules. Bureaucracy means rule by the officers, rule by the rules. Okay, so they frame the rules, and below we have DM, who is implementing at the state level. So all the rules are drafted in such a manner that DM just has to go according to the rules. Where will a school be constructed? It will be decided by the political executive. The political executive of a country decides the philosophy. The political philosophy of Prime Minister is every tea vendor, every rickshaw puller, every person who is poor should be uplifted. Philosophy of Manmohan Singh was economics. That through revival of economy, through economy doing better, everybody would become richer. This was Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Rajiv Gandhi's philosophy was invest more in science and technology. Every Prime Minister has got his or her own policy ideology. So political leaders, they are the ones who solve, who are the visionary leaders. They are the ones who solve the problems of the country. They take the country out of various problems. Who decided about Vande Bharat? It's not about the name. It's about the good quality trains that we should have in India. Prime Minister, even though he wanted bullet train, but bureaucracy would tell him, sir, rather than having one bullet train running from Mumbai to Surat to Gujarat, Ahmedabad will be very expensive. Why not revamp? Why not redevelop the existing trains and convert the whole network into a railway network which will be plying at 150 km/h speed. Isn't it better? So they are the ones, because of their life spent through files, the bureaucrats, they advise the government. They convert the political leaders' vision into reality. Vision, reality. Visionary leaders, seasoned bureaucrats. That is why these ministers, prime minister, they choose very, very senior bureaucrats as their advisors even after they have retired. Got it? Clear now? Now these secretaries, etc., they do the file work only. Okay. DM, etc., they implement. That is why they enjoy. DM, etc., they have a lot of power because they are seen as actually doing the work. Secretaries, etc., you see, they are very puffy, they grow very old, they spend their whole day in the ministry, then they sleep at 12 or 1 in the night, then they wake up 5:30 or 6 a.m. to advise the minister if anything wrong has been written about the minister in the newspaper. This is how the system runs. If any opposition MP, let's have some red section over here. If any opposition MP, Congress, Rahul Gandhi, or anybody, Aam Aadmi Party, they might put some adverse, tough questions to the ministry. What you are doing? Why the Kumbh stampede happened? Were you not prepared? Why the railway accident happened? So these type of questions, they are actually, answers are written by we, the UPSC aspirants who get selected. That is why a lot of answer writing practice. That is used by the minister and he answers over here. Got it? He just reads out the answer written by the secretary. Done? What is the role of judiciary? If they enact any law, first part is enactment of the law. If any law is enacted beyond the scope of constitution, if it is ultra vires the constitution, exceeding the scope of constitution, exceeding the shirt, exceeding the hanger, in our example. If any one of you joined later, please go through this class at a very, pausing it in between, taking a note of it, understanding it, because on these 2-3 classes, the next 2-3 days will depend how will you be able to understand polity better, how better you understand it. If anything is exceeding the scope of constitution, law will be challenged in the judiciary. Judiciary, judge will sit here, 3 judges or 4 judges or 5 judges bench. They will either declare the law as passed or law as ultra vires. Okay, either the law will be declared as having been passed or the law will be declared as ultra vires the constitution against. Then how does judiciary keep a check on the government? Law is good, law is right in its nature, in its intention, but its implementation is done by the executive. Executive means government, the political executive, or its implementation is done by the administration, the district collector, SSP, etc. Okay, they arrest wrong people. Or banks, Ministry of Finance says that mudra loans, the loans meant for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, should be given to poor people. But loans will be given to Vijay Mallya. You can go to the Supreme Court and challenge any executive action, any action by the government or any action by the administration. Enactment of law, if right or wrong, that is the legislative keeping a check on the power of the legislature, is done by judiciary as its job number 1. Enactment is right whether the law enacted by the ministry conforms to the constitution. It should not be like this. Constitution is smaller in scope and law enacted is wider in scope. The example that I gave you in the beginning, Mike, etc. Right? Second job of judiciary, if the law as enacted is being implemented according to the letter and spirit, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana accounts, electoral bonds, if electoral bonds were meant to cleanse the political funding, meant to have transparency, but electoral bonds are not transparent. So executive would get a scolding. Judiciary would say that how many electoral money has been, how much money has been donated through electoral bonds. Got it? Means bureaucrats indirectly run the country and they advise and implement laws and policies. Yes. As a minister, I would just visualize. I would have a vision that I want this. Bureaucrats, if bureaucracy in India, it is said that they are so powerful, if they don't want any reform to happen, they won't let it happen. Yes, fundamental rights are included in constitution, bachche. I forgot to mention this, very nice. Now quickly, in next 5-6 minutes, let me take you through the other section. This much is clear. Constitution has got various parts. In the beginning of the lecture, I told you that we as a citizens, we enacted a law okay, this is constitution. We thought that rules given in the constitution will govern us well. Okay, but what if the elected representatives elected according to the constitution become so powerful that they threaten us with the lal batti, red beacon? Imagine in the previous era, this is your vehicle going, and if this red beacon vehicle comes behind your vehicle, they will just blow one siren and you would not see left. You would just ram your vehicle. You will give right of passage to these bureaucrats having a red beacon atop their vehicle. Even if you are so very powerful, you are hardworking, you are honest, you have to give side to their vehicle. Ramming your vehicle, going anyways. If you don't, I'll narrate you very good personal life example. It happened with me 1 year back. Okay, there is a mall. These examples in the last leg, since we have completed the agenda, might bore you or might distract you from the class. This is Select City Walk in Delhi. This is a mall. I was, there was a traffic jam, as is the case in Delhi. My car was somewhere here. There comes an Innova on which it was written Government of Haryana. Now there are no red beacons on which it was written Government of Haryana. This bloody driver, he breaking the norm, okay, coming on the wrong side, he parks his vehicle or he intrudes his vehicle just above mine. And I am a stubborn civil services teacher. What if I am not selected? I also appeared it in interview, mains, etc. Right? I was just short of few marks. Why would I budge? And I am teaching polity. How would I do justice with theory and practice if in practice I am bowing before them? So what did I do? I did not relent. My vehicle rammed into his vehicle. Here is the gate where people get down, and some lady, she was there with her daughter, and this driver comes and he takes a click of my vehicle, threatening me that he will escalate it to some police people and they would come to my address. I got down and I equally took the pick of that car. Okay, I started taking pick of their car. After 2 minutes of this to and fro, he taking my car's pick, me taking his car's pick, he said, "Sir, sorry, it was my mistake." You got it? Had I been an illiterate, unaware citizen of this great country, non-civil services teacher or some other teacher or any normal human being, I'm still normal, I'm not saying super normal like Modi, I would have gotten scared that I have rammed my vehicle into Government of Haryana, this thing. I was prepared if tomorrow or day after or 1 week afterwards, somebody comes and knocks the bell that your vehicle has been challaned or your vehicle has been fined for ramming into this thing, I would have shown that power of bureaucracy, the abuse of power. Even though red beacon is gone, Government of Haryana or Government of Punjab stickers are threatening the citizens. Got my power? Got my point? So this is how we the citizens sometimes are victims of the abuse of powers of the bureaucracy. Alright, so that is why we should be vigilant, we should be careful about our rights. Now the point that I'm going to tell you is even beautiful. We give all our power to these elected representatives and IAS servants, IPS, BDO, VDO, Village Development Officer. Okay. So what happens? We are now struggling to check their powers. That is why we should not be victimized. Our constitution has got a very beautiful chapter, Fundamental Rights, which says there is right to equality. Be you ever so high, law will always be above you. Driving your vehicle on the mandated side, on the left is right, is the law, is the norm, is the rule, traffic rule. If even an IAS officer is breaking that rule or his vehicle is breaking that rule, he should be equally be treated. Right to equality, right to discrimination, okay, then right to freedom of speech and expression. We have been given these rights so that if the constitution is not running according to the norms, if the government is not functioning according to the norms, if the administration is abusing the power, we can go to the courts, we can go to the judiciary and get our fundamental rights enforced. That is why it was the Supreme Court which said that there will be no red beacon on the roof of these sarkari vehicles. Got it? This is just one part. Right to privacy. Some of these rights are available against the government. Some of these rights are available against the citizens inter se, amongst the citizens. I as a citizen can sue another citizen, can file a case against another citizen if he is harassing me. Am I clear, guys? Okay, so this is the thing that we need to understand. Judiciary keeps a check on the power of the government, keeps a check on the bills that are enacted by the legislature, and enforces our fundamental rights by keeping a check on the government's broad powers, broad exercise of power, Parliament's broad exercise of power of converting bills into acts, and even the petty things, even the small things like red beacon, like ration not given to the poor people, the National Food Security Act. So this is the role of judiciary. Constitutional makers were very particular. After the British era, British Empire rule of 200 odd years, we were very skeptical of our own government. We were afraid that we might, as citizens, as country, as civilians, we might again be the victims of tyrannical rule, tyranny of the rulers. Our own elected ones might become dictatorial in their tendencies. So that is why any action of any PM also, any government also can be challenged. Same happened with Indira Gandhi, same happened with Narendra Modi government also at many times. Not to talk about other weaker governments. The lecture, last leg, maybe this is too much for you. What is alliance? Very funny. Those of you who have at least an idea of how the polity works, what is coalition government, will understand. See, government can be formed by, I'm using different colors, okay, green color 273 of its own. Single political party can have 273 of its own. That means single largest party is the majority party. BJP earlier in 2014 to 19 had this. In 2019-24 had this. But this time BJP is running with the support of two allies. What is the name of Nitish Kumar's party? I'm forgetting. Telugu Desam party. This time around BJP does not have 273. They have 235, whatever the number is. Change the color because it is not visible, okay? So I'm now drawing everything in black, okay? I will mark the things later on. Telugu Desam party and JDU it is, okay? Janata Dal United, okay? Nitish Kumar, this time in the budget, when I was dealing with the budget session, did you see how many times Bihar Makhana Board, Bihar, another institution is being set up in Bihar? Why? Okay, Apurva, I will request the team, back in team. Okay, because government is short of majority, 235, 236 they have got. They require 20. I'm just writing the numbers like this, and they have 22. These people are supporting the government and they are alliance partners, and the name of alliance is National Democratic Alliance. They are called coalition partners. Coalition partners. Okay. Clear? They are actually not coalition partners, they are alliance partners. Why? The third circle. The third circle would tell you. Congress era is far better. I'll tell you what happened with Congress. I'm writing Congress here, changing the example. Congress had 206 seats between 2004 and 2009. How many more seats do they require to achieve the number of 273? Please answer. Congress had 206. Okay. So Congress required 67 more. 67 support came from Trinamool Congress. Mamata Banerjee, support came from DMK. Okay. This DMK party in Tamil Nadu. Okay. Support came from RJD. Alright. These political parties, then support came from outside. This arrow tells you outside support from Communist Party of India. So, first circle is of coalition partners. Erasing NDA, we are writing here UPA. Okay. First circle denotes coalition partners, COALITION. What is the good thing about coalition partners? Coalition partners, they develop a vested interest, self-interest or selfish purpose. They have their own selfish purpose. That RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav became the railway minister and he did railway recruitment scam. Then here we write DMK. DMK won 22 members of parliament seats in Lok Sabha election 2004. Let us assume the number. DMK's A. Raja again became the minister. So these ministerial portfolios, ministerial seats or portfolios in the technical way, they become important to these coalition partners. Trinamool Congress, Mamata Banerjee, she also supported the government as a coalition. What is the meaning of coalescence? Coalescence is water. If I add more water into it, water coalesces. This is not a physics class of Alex sir. So maybe if somebody gets hold of it, they would say that, okay, you are copying. Water, can you distinguish the water from the water that was existing? No. This is coalition. Okay. Now, let's say if I add some small amount of biscuit into it, can you distinguish, can you differentiate between biscuit and water? Yes. These are alliance partners. They are supporting the party, but they are not coalescing with the overall water 206. Water was 206 ml, 20 ml added by RJD, 20 ml added by Trinamool Congress of West Bengal, and 20 ml, 20 ml, likewise 22 ml. This way it became 273 ml. What is required to form the government? What is the difference between coalition partners? I'll drink this water with the biscuits afterwards. When I will go back to my kid and my wife, I'll tell them, see, this is the example I gave. Now listen here. So what happens? These coalition partners, they are selfish. They want to go back to their people in Tamil Nadu, which is not wrong. They want to go back to West Bengal so that they can tell their people in Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Bihar, see guys, you gave my vote, you gave your votes to me, Lalu Prasad Yadav, or Mamata Banerjee, your votes are not going waste. I, Mamata Banerjee, by supporting Congress party at the center, I am going to start new Shatabdi rails trains from West Bengal, Kolkata to New Delhi. 2 hours, okay, bache, please bear with me. I will have to draw this pitch again for just 2 or 3 more scores. Getting my point? I'll win the match 273. Let me score 273 and then I will quit. I'll end the class. Coalition and alliance, that is what I'm going to explain. Alliance partners, Samajwadi Party. with due respect to Mulayam Singh sir, Mulayam Singh Yadav, he's done a lot for the country, okay, for the communities, OBCs, etc. He at one point of time had an ambition to become the Prime Minister himself. Okay, then here Communist Party of India. Alliance partners, they will say that they don't want to support the color orange. Okay. BJP outside, opposition. Okay. These leaders would say that to keep the separatist forces, अलगाववादी ताकतों को, to keep the communal forces, not the separatists, I'm sorry, to keep the communal forces at bay, at a distance from power, to keep them off from coming into the power and forming the government, we will support Congress party from outside. Outside support means that whenever Congress would fall short of 273, whenever Manmohan Singh will have to face the trust vote, that he is actually having the confidence of, or the vote of 273 MPs, whenever Manmohan Singh will fall short of that, Samajwadi Party would support him. Otherwise, to stand as an independent entity, if you want to do big, you have to do something different. You would have, all of you would have let go of many opportunities that have come your way. Samajwadi Party leader Mulayam Singh Yadav could have been made Minister of Rural Development. But he said that I want to stand tall. I want to stand separately so that people do not look up to me as just another minister. He became minister many a times in Atal Bihari Vajpayee, various governments. He said, this time I will become only Prime Minister. Okay, so that is why I am not going to be a coalition partner. I don't want any ministerial, just a ministerial chair. I would become Prime Minister maybe the next Lok Sabha elections or next to next Lok Sabha election. That is why he supported Congress. But he will not support Congress on the matters that people of UP don't like. For example, Women Reservation Bill. Whenever Women Reservation Bill will be represented, his political party, supporter of Yadav vote bank, they are patriarchal in nature. They don't want women to become powerful, or they don't want women to get elected. So he would walk out of the Lok Sabha. He would not vote in favor of the bill presented by the Congress. This is called issue-based support. These alliance partners have the flexibility, since they are not holding the ministerial portfolios, they are not bound to always support the single largest party that has formed the government, that is Congress in this case. They will give supports on the basis of issue. Communist Party of India, they believe in communism. When Manmohan Singh became adamant that he wants to supply the nuclear bill with USA. USA is a capitalist country. Communist Party of India opted out of support. They had around 60 members of parliament. Congress did not support Communist Party. Communist Party did not support the government. Manmohan Singh sir was adamant. Got it? So that is why now what happens, interesting part. Samajwadi Party leader had a disproportionate assets case. Your income and assets more than your known sources of income. आय से ज़्यादा संपत्ति, as we call it in the Hindi. Okay. Whenever he would say that he is not going to support Congress, in the evening, a news analyst would, like me, would listen to the news, and the news would be flashing. CBI reopens the case against Mulayam Singh, Samajwadi Party Supremo Mulayam Singh. At 6 p.m. this news flashes. At 2 p.m. in the afternoon, he said that he is not going to support Congress government on this bill. Which bill? Bill which takes India closer to the US. 2 p.m. he says that he is not going to support Congress. Government falls, let it fall. 6 p.m. news comes in the evening. CBI reopens the disproportionate assets case against Samajwadi Party leader. 8 p.m. Samajwadi Party leader again comes that we have arrived at a consensus. I am going to support Congress. Got my point? This is how CBI as an autonomous body, RBI, CBI, these bodies are used as a tool. When Congress is in power, it becomes Congress Bureau of Investigation. When BJP is in power, CBI becomes Central Bhajpa Investigation Department, Enforcement Directorate, etc. Mayawati, how can we forget the great lady? Coalition alliance partner, Bahujan Samajwadi Party. Garland of 1,000 rupees notes. How many of you still remember it? So those garlands, etc. Whenever she would say that she is not going to support Congress, CBI reopens the case against Bahujan Samajwadi Party leader Mayawati. Mayawati will again fall in line. This is the way to discipline these leaders. Okay. Now, last 10 minutes, I'm here to entertain all your doubts. Now, no more teaching. Anybody who is all satisfied, please give a thumbs up. If I can get to know that, okay, you are all okay with the class, the way it happened. If you still have some doubt, please, sir, please end this. Yeah, the class is already ended. It's only about doubts now. Okay, this is all ended. Okay, I might repeat this thing in the next class. How can we contact you after the class? There is a Telegram channel, Jatin Verma Sir, right? Jatin Verma Sir, PW OnlyIAS, the link of which would be given on the YouTube description. Under the YouTube description, this class is also playing on the YouTube. I mean, the video stream is going on. Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure teaching you. I'm so sorry if I offended any one of you by not entertaining your doubts, because I had to proceed at a pace where everybody is comfortable. Sir, is the non-written constitution more applicable for smaller countries? Yes, you can say that. Or it is more applicable for those countries. Yes, I'm not going to follow the book, but we are going to cover the book, M. Lakshmikant. I'm going to follow my own pattern, which has evolved over 8 years of teaching. PYQs and syllabus discussion will happen in the next discussion. Okay, we could not fulfill the agenda of the class today. So from next class, we'll do this. Contacting me after the class is going to happen. You can check the YouTube chat box of PW OnlyIAS English channel. There my Telegram channel link is given. The official Telegram channel created by PW team. There you can contact me. Thank you, Arjun. But I'm not able to retain all this info. Info given in this class is not required to be retained. It is required to be understood only. It is the same for tomorrow's. The time is going to be the same every day unless notified to the contrary. Unless there is any change. If there would be any change, you would be notified about the change. You are not replying my doubts. I'm so sorry, because I'm going to be here until each and every doubt of yours is answered. So don't panic. Thank you, Vidhi. Thank you. Please solve my problem. Anya, please write your problem. Whiteboard is more eye friendly. Okay, Ranveer will use that. Just a suggestion to all of you, use this Blu-ray glasses. Even if your eyesight is fine, just to protect your eyes from the harmful rays. Notes PDF will be given to you on the application itself. It must have already been uploaded. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Bache. Then Revati, notes, as I said, will be given to you through the PDF. Notes of this class. Jai Hind, Himanshu. Notes, Tanya, again, in the PDF section, you can find the notes. DMP. What do we mean by DMP? Until now, I'm not able to connect with laptop. Anya, I will escalate your issue with your name to the team so that tomorrow you do not face this issue. However, for today's class, please manage with the recorded class, which will be uploaded in a short while from now. Do all the MPs have to attend the Lok Sabha every day? No, Himanshi. Himanshi, MPs have to attend the Lok Sabha only when it is made compulsory by their political party through an instrument known as WHIP. WHIP. Abrar, after 5-7 classes, mains practice question will be given. Only after 5 to 7 classes it will be possible. Sir, to make proper notes of this class, tips will be given to you, Mitali, in the next class. Backend team, please don't end the session. I can end the session myself also. Please let it continue for some time. What to study from NCERT? As of now, follow these classes. I will let you know if at all you have to study from them. Okay, Gaurav. What about NCERT, Gaurav? No need. Sir, please address how can we properly cover polity and all the resources we need to read. If at all there would be any need to read anything as a supplement, I will let you know. Ravi, okay, we will let you know. I use transparent computer classes. That is good, Pumu Insan, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Ravi, I will escalate it to the team. You are a little fast. Okay, Ayman, I'm so sorry. I will modulate my speech in a manner that I'm comfortable to all of you in terms of catching power. Maybe I was a little fast. I'll mend my teaching style in the next class. Okay. Thank you, Himanshi. Thank you, Bache. For Titan 4.0 class, was there any other class conducted or just this one? I will escalate it to the team to keep you posted about the class, or you will be able to find your timetable on the application interface itself. Sir, as we have received UPSC books, how to study those books? If in case you are not given any dictated part or anything, you can supplement the books that are given to you. Okay. My suggestion to you would be, insofar as books are concerned, please proceed with me. If anything requires to be studied or supplemented, I will create trouble for you as well as for me. Okay. Now, with due respect, try to solve doubts at last only rather than in the between. This is for just 3 classes. After that, there will be no doubts. There will be factual doubts that will gel up with the class. Okay. 3 classes, you all are very, very enthusiastic, new aspirants. Okay. Curiosity, the fanfare of having joined a batch. Doubt session would be there after 1 hour and after the class now onwards. Okay, Danish, Nazir. Yes, Devyani, just go by my classes. It's going to be enough. I can tell you about my subject, polity. It's going to be more than enough for you. You please maintain your pace. Anyone who has a problem with the space can adjust. Okay, Soumya, don't worry. The moot question is to clear the syllabus, to complete the syllabus on time. Please allow the screenshot. Apurva, I can only request as a teacher, I'll put in my word to the team. PW team provided us some books how to start reading. For next 5-7 days at least, please don't read. Afterwards you can. Okay. I'll tell you what chapter, what topic to read in order to supplement the study done in the class. Whatever we are studying in the class, you have to supplement that with your books only if I say so in the class. Because we have to complete the syllabus on time, sometimes everything may not be dictated in the class. Some things which are totally factual, I will tell you to read them in the class. Okay. Next class topic is going to be UPSC syllabus discussion and your PYQ discussion, and further discussion, better clarity on these things that we have studied in this class. Okay. So can I take your leave now? As this batch has started today only, it will be really nice if we get an overview as to what all we have to study. Is this your doubt, Aditi? Please show the topics that you've studied. Okay, in quick 1 minute, the topics that we've studied, we talked about how the government is elected, how many houses of parliament are there, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, how the cabinet system works, what is difference between cabinet system and council of ministers, what is constitution and constitutionalism, why are people called as sovereign, the supreme source of power, why do we have a written constitution? Briefly, I have told you. Why do we have where all do we have non-written constitution, unwritten constitution as we call it. Okay, now tomorrow I'll give you the notes for unwritten constitution. Okay, sir, daily PPTs and class notes. Okay, so PPTs are being provided by the backend team, I'm sure. Class notes I'm going to dictate from tomorrow onwards. The first topic of dictation is going to be your discussion, the difference between written and unwritten constitution. What all should we study apart from the daily classes? Read newspaper. If you are not able to follow the newspaper, read yourself. You can follow the daily current affairs class that I am doing in the morning on PW OnlyIAS English channel at 8 a.m. in the morning, guys, right? When can we expect the syllabus discussion and books needed to follow? In the next class tomorrow, I'll be telling you about the syllabus discussion part for Polity Paper 2, GS Mains Paper 2. prelims and mains. Okay, other books I will cursorily tell you in a manner that you are able to have a fair idea. But as of now, read polity and current affairs. If your attempt is in 2026, go a little slow. Mug up the polity syllabus. This is your homework. Sankhyayan, every day after 5 to 7 classes, we'll be giving you some doubts, some questions, prelims as well as mains. Attempt those questions in a satisfactory manner. Hindu, if you are having any problem, go for Indian Express. Okay. So after next 1 minute, I'm going to wind it up. Thank you so much for bearing me for 2 hours, 2 long hours. Any doubt, if it remains unaddressed, we'll be taking it up in the first 2 minutes of the class. Pardon me for not having answered any of your doubts. With this, I take your leave, guys. Thank you. If you are having any problem, read Indian Express. Afterwards, you can switch to Hindu. Thank you, Ranveer. Thank you, everyone. It was really a pleasure teaching you. If you all have been able to understand, that's a pleasure for me. Thank you.